Now, live on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com. This is Eyewitness News live at 5. Coverage you can count on.
A pair of suspects answering to shocking charges today. What they're accused of doing to a woman held against her will for more than a month.
Plus, we're digging deeper into the most recent arrest of a former state rep. What a police report reveals about Robert Watson's latest run-in with the law.
Well, tracking much colder weather for later tonight. In fact, a freeze warning has been issued. I'll let you know how low temperatures will go.
A pair of suspects faced a judge today to answer to shocking charges.
The pair accused of holding a woman against her will, keeping her in a basement for more than a month, and physically and mentally abusing her.
And new tonight, we're learning more about those suspects and the disturbing allegations against them.
Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner has the new details now live from Pawtucket. Jared?
Mike and Shannon, police say this alleged victim was particularly vulnerable, telling officers she has an autism spectrum disorder. Rafael Freitas and girlfriend Joylyn Gelpy, both 27, held without bail tonight, charged with terrible crimes, accused of physically and mentally abusing a 28-year-old homeless woman, holding her captive in a basement apartment on Pawtucket's Drolet Avenue for more than a month. Rafael Freitas is charged with sexually assaulting her. Eyewitness News has the complaint tonight. It alleges both Freitas and Gelpy burned the woman, causing scarring, and subjected her to forced labor. Neighbors in disbelief.
It's pretty sick, if you ask me. It's peaceful, it's quiet. There's a school right near us.
Pawtucket police say they went to the Providence train station late last week to talk to the woman who was stating she'd been held against her will. Neighbors tell us they saw nothing out of the ordinary except for police cruisers yesterday. They say they've seen older kids playing basketball before in the building's driveway.
If I had known something, yeah, I probably would have either reported it or took action myself if I could have. I can't let people live in a basement, being held captive and not do nothing.
Among the charges now against the couple, kidnapping, involuntary servitude, mayhem, and conspiracy.
Sick people deserve to get consequences, so hopefully they get what they get coming to them.
What police have not yet talked about is how these three met in the first place. Now, coming up new at 6 o'clock, what was said about Joylyn Gelpy's past in a faraway state. We'll talk about that next hour. Live in Providence, Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
Accused of a heinous crime.
And it was first breaking at noontime. Police say the pair held a mentally disabled woman prisoner in their basement and subjected her to physical and psychological abuse. Tonight, we've learned one of the suspects has a lengthy criminal history in another state.
Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us live from Pawtucket with the new details. Jared?
Mike and Shannon, Pawtucket police say they met this woman at the Providence train station late last week where she told them she'd be held against her will. But they did not said and have not said how all of the people in this case met to begin with. A boyfriend-girlfriend duo, Rafael Freitas and Joylyn Gelpy, charged tonight with cold, damaging crimes, accused of abusing a 28-year-old homeless woman with an autism spectrum disorder, holding her captive in a basement apartment on Pawtucket's Drolet Avenue for more than a month. Rafael Freitas is charged with sexually assaulting that woman. Police say both burned her and subjected her to forced labor. In getting the couple held without bail, a police inspector said this about Joylyn Gelpy.
Your Honor, she was convicted in Texas of aggravated sexual assault on a child. She was a sex offender in Texas. When she moved to Rhode Island, she fought that status here in Rhode Island and was removed from the sex offender list. She's been convicted of abuse on child, elderly, and disabled person in Texas as well.
Now, neighbors told us today they had not seen anything out of the ordinary at this home. In fact, in the past, they have seen older kids, perhaps teenagers, playing basketball in the driveway of that multi-unit home. In Providence tonight, Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.